Hello and welcome to a very special episode of the Anger Secrets YouTube channel. I'm your host, Alastair Duhs, and over the last 30 years, I've taught over 15,000 men and women to control their anger, master their emotions, and create calmer, happier, and more loving relationships. In fact, one of the main reasons I started this channel was to help as many people as possible control their anger, as I know firsthand how destructive anger issues can be for anyone who experiences them, and for the people around them, including their partners and children. While I often talk on this channel about my experience teaching people to control their anger, I do not often talk about why I do this work. What is important to me about helping people to control their anger? In today's video, I'd like to answer this question by sharing an interview I recently had with Syrus, an amazing man who enrolled in the Complete Anger Management System a few months ago. As you will hear in this conversation, since this time, Syrus has made profound and amazing transformations in his life. In fact, it was an email Syrus sent me about a week after starting his course that really touched me. In this email, Syrus shared that he was taking a piece of advice I had given him in this initial interview. For the first time in 20 years of marriage, Syrus opened up to his wife about the physical and emotional abuse he'd experienced as a child. Syrus said he was not sure if this abuse was why he got so angry and frustrated at times, but sharing this experience with his wife was very empowering to him. He finally said that, in the last week, his wife had also been more relaxed and happy than she had ever been before. And she was even playing music in the house when previously she had been too fearful about his response to do this. Even for someone who has spent 30 years teaching people to control their anger, this is powerful feedback. And I could recognize that Syrus was well on the way to making profound changes that would positively affect himself, his wife, and his children. To be part of this change is an honor and a privilege for me, and is 100% why I continue to do this work. In fact, I ran my first anger management program over 30 years ago and was immediately blown away by how powerful the transformations the men in this group were making. Nothing that I was saying or doing, or that anyone else in the group was saying or doing, was rocket science. Instead, it was simple, powerful, and effective techniques to control anger and get very different outcomes in situations that previously would have led to anger. Again, I do this work because this is what warms my heart. Results such as those Syrus has experienced are what gives me inspiration in life and what I want my life to stand for. If you are listening to this video and have an issue with anger, I would love to help you. The simplest way to access my help is to go to my website, angersecrets.com, and book a free 30-minute anger assessment call with me. I'd love to talk with you about your situation and see if we can make a plan to work together. Okay, let's move on to my interview with Syrus. Welcome to the Anger Secrets podcast. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, I'm a 45-year-old husband, father. I'm living on a family farm that we've had in our family for generations. Currently working in between my pest management job and my father job. So it's keeping me pretty busy. And I'm working my way through this awesome course. So yeah.
Oh, and what brought you to this anger management course?
Being honest with you, I was in a very dark place, Alastair. I was in a dark place. When you and I first talked, I mentioned to you I had been physically abusive to my wife, which I'm not boasting about at all. I'm just merely putting it out there, and abusive to my children in a verbal sense. And I just wanted to change. I wanted to be a better person and fix what was wrong with me, I guess.
So it sounds like anger and abuse and violence has been an issue for you for some time. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct, Alastair. I played semi-professional football, a lot of sport, and I was easily a hothead, if you like. I thought that was a badge of honor growing up. I thought I was entitled to be angry at people. And I've learned through your course that I don't have that entitlement. And it was only in the last sort of 5 years that it started to get physical, if you like. Even with staff at work, I would challenge them physically. And it wasn't until my wife said to me, and I mentioned this to you the first time I spoke to you, she was fearful to sleep in our bed and be in our room. And this was her house, our house. It shouldn't be like that. And that really triggered me to get help. And you were the first person that I got in touch with. And you were relatable, easy to talk to, I guess. You didn't judge me. And yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
Oh, how hard was it for you to reach out for help?
I had done it twice. I'll be honest, I'd searched for people, I'd looked it up. But until my wife actually said to me, hey, look, I'm a bit worried about you, that's when something went off in my head and just said, you've got to fix yourself here, or at least try. But reaching out was tough, I'll be honest. It was tough. I like to deal with everything myself. I'm a bloke, if you like, a man's man, as they say, but it was the best thing I ever did, Alastair. It's the best thing I ever did.
And why is that?
It opened up a door or switched on a light in my mind that I don't have to be like that. I was creating that. I created my own anger. And as I said to you, I thought I was entitled to growl people. And coming from the sports field, I had a very loud voice. That was my job, was to bark at you. And I thought I'd bring it back into the family and bark at the family. And you were the one that taught me that you don't have to compete with your family anymore. You're not playing footy anymore. So that was a big thing for me to learn. Just to tone
things down, absolutely. How was starting this course for you? What was that like?
It was scary because I know I've got issues. I spoke to you about the first night. I said, this is the best night's sleep I've ever had, Alastair. I've got all this off my chest, and it's only a small portion. I haven't got into the course. And once I got into the course and it showed me the tools that I should be using to deal with my anger and what anger actually is, I've created the anger. That was eye-opening to me. It was life-changing, I'll be honest with you.
Yep. So these were things you hadn't thought about before?
Never. As I said, I always blamed everyone else for my anger. And it's the first time I started to, you said it to me, I think, you create your own anger. That stuck with me there. And it's true. I said to you I get mad in the morning putting my boots on. I'm like, why these bloody boots go up? The boot had nothing to do with it. It was me. And it took your tools and your techniques to let me see that.
Awesome. And how soon did you start to make changes?
I would say within the first week, if not the first 2 days. When I started getting into the course and looking at it, I was daunted. I was like, oh, that's a lot. But I love the way you can chip away at it. You can go back to it. You don't put any pressure on me to hurry up, get it done now. It has to be done yesterday. I still go back and look at page 1. And the tools you gave me, like the tension scale. I don't know if I should be giving away little secrets here, but the tension scale was amazing. And the wife and I the first 2 weeks I was on it, she turned around to me, she said, I'm about 5 here on the tension scale. She was using the tension scale herself. I was like, oh, okay, I'm out of here. Now, in the past, Alastair, I would try and control that situation and try and get out of her, what's wrong? Let's fix this. With your techniques, I walked away to the bedroom, put your book on, and started doing everything and just let her go. Just leave her, get her anger out, get my frustrations out, and it worked a treat. And I thought, this is working. And it's so simple. Why didn't they do this before?
Yeah. But it's been about 2 months, I think, since you started the course.
2 months. Yep.
What do you think the biggest changes you've made so far?
I am more, you said this to me one time, vulnerability is where it's at. And I was having a conversation today with a guy, and I told him I was on the course. I was working away, and he said to me, you seem happier. I said, I'm on this course. I mentioned you. I told him what I was doing, and he said, I can see it in you. You've changed. I said, I used to hate people. I used to not want to talk to people at work. I would avoid people. Now I'm going up to them and saying, how are you? What are you doing? Let's chat. And that's not me. That's not me. So it's given me more of an appreciation for others, what they're dealing with, and that I'm not the only person in this world. Yeah.
100%. It's awesome. And the vulnerability in your family environment, do you use it there as well?
I do. I've told my son everything. See a little bit of my anger in him.
Yeah.
I try and give him your tools and maybe one day I'll push him onto the course when he's ready, but I want him to do what I did, Alastair, and say, I'd like to do that course. But I've shared it with the whole family, my wife, my father, everyone. I'm not ashamed to tell anyone what I'm doing.
It's great. And do you think these changes will be sustainable for you?
It's funny. I listened to a guy you talked to, I'm not sure if he was American, apologies, or a Canadian, but Kevin was it? And he said, it's something you've got to keep doing. And that stayed in my head. And I said that to the wife last night. It's something we're going to have to keep doing. I've always got anger in me, and these techniques and tools you give me allow me to control it, but I don't want to stop. I'd like to carry on and learn more and, just keep challenging myself.
And how much difference do you think this has made to your relationship?
Oh, Alastair, seriously? I know a lot of that stuff was my fault. In the first probably 2 to 3 weeks, I was just beating myself up inside, and my wife could see it. She said, why aren't you singing musical songs on the radio and stuff like you used to? And I said, I don't deserve to. I've been such a horrible person that I don't feel like I deserve that. And I needed to work through that. In the end, I said to myself through doing the course, if I can't love myself, how can I love you? So that's something I've learned to forgive myself for all the wrongdoings that I've done, but acknowledge that I've done them. That was me. It was no one else. So that's the big thing I've taken.
Yeah. And the impact on your relationship? What's that?
My wife and I go out now all the time. If we do fight, we do have an argument or a conversation that ends up, we don't agree. We both don't throw things at each other like we did before, or I slam the door, because I realized that's abuse and I don't want to be that person. It's dramatically changed my relationship with my wife. I see her differently. Not that I didn't see her as a beautiful woman and I respected her. I guess I blamed her for a lot of my anger, and I don't do that anymore now. I can register what that is if I get angry at something, and your tools have allowed me to understand what that is.
And has it made any difference in terms of your relationship with your children?
Oh, it's a game changer. The one thing I've learned, as I said to you before, was I'm entitled to growl you kids. I'm entitled to smack you. Not anymore. No smacking here. No disciplining in anger. Because it just doesn't work. So I'll sit down, I'll talk to them, I'll act like I'll be calm and mature, and we'll discuss what is your problem. Why are you so angry at the moment? You can't get what you want? That's cool. Let's try and work our way towards that. And there's been numerous times my wife said, well done, hon. I wouldn't have done that. And I'm sitting back going, I didn't do anything special. I've just done what Alastair told me to do, and it's worked. Why didn't I get this 20 years ago? So, yeah, they're fabulous tools, Alastair.
And have you noticed any difference in how your children respond to you?
A lot more open to come and talk to me about whatever their issue is. In the past, they probably would have lied. It was his fault. It was her fault. Now they're more willing to say, sorry, I did this. Yep. Because they know they're not going to get judged, growled, or we're going to sort it out. We're going to work through it together. So honestly, it's a game changer.
Great. Couple more questions. So how has doing an online course been for you?
It worked for me because of where I am. You're in the Auckland area. I won't give away where you are. I mean, I'm in the Waikato area. So we're 100 and something kilometres apart. And yet, yes, it's perfect for me, Alastair. I love it.
And what would you say to someone else who may be listening to this episode, thinking about doing the course, but maybe not sure? What would you say to that person?
Don't think about doing the course. Do it. Don't think about it. Just do it. If you're going to think about it, you probably put it off. Like me, you'll probably get scared. Be courageous and do it. Just what have you got to lose? It was the best money I've spent, and I can't tell you how long, since I've been married. That's how powerful it can be.
Anything else you'd like to say?
Thank you. Thank you to you. You've got I don't mean this in a degrading, like, you've got an odd style where you just sit back and you watch and you listen, and I appreciate that. You don't ram anything down my throat saying you must do this, you must do that. And I feel like I can't let you down as well. Yeah, I just love your approach. You can always email you and ask you something, or you're there. Even if you're on holiday or swimming with dolphins or whales, it's awesome, Alastair. I can't thank you enough, my friend.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed my interview with Syrus. As mentioned, being part of the transformations that men like Syrus make is why I do this work and why I will help people control their anger for as long as possible. Remember, if anger is an issue for you, and if you would like help to control your anger, master your emotions, or create a calmer, happier, or more loving relationship, visit my website, angersecrets.com, and book a free 30-minute anger assessment call with me. Or simply enroll in the Complete Anger Management System today, which I guarantee will help you make profound changes in your life. Remember too, you cannot control other people, but you can control yourself. Thank you for watching today's video, and I look forward to talking with you in the next one. The Anger Secrets YouTube channel is intended for information and educational purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. No medical or therapeutic relationship is implied or created by this video. If you have mental health concerns of any type, please seek out the help of a local mental health professional.